This is a shot for the early part of Van Helsing, and basically our model crew has spent weeks and weeks making this beautiful windmill miniature, and tonight we get to burn it to the ground.
It's sort of an homage to the older monster movie, black and white monster movies, and we see Dr. Frankenstein dead and collapsed in his creation's arms at the top of this tower.
I was directing a play, and I took a day off rehearsals and said, guys, I can't be with you on Friday. I have to go to Prague to do a scene on top of a burning windmill in the arms of the Frankenstein monster. I
was never nervous because you have the, well, I was nervous.
So at 3 o'clock in the morning, at -6, there I am, dead, in the arms of my creation, on top of this burning windmill.
It's just me and Sam up there, and then it's burning and burning.
And the Prague Fire Department have to come in between takes and put it out.
It was extraordinary. You know, it's a controlled fire. I mean, that's amazing that they're able to do that. And the effect is really amazing. And someone got on the horn and said, you know, okay, let's clear the actors!
And I'm kind of swigging vodka to stop my feet from freezing. It was a very, very bizarre day.
I heard Stephen and someone over there going, how many more times do you think we can do this before it? No, I'm kidding.
A round of applause for Schuler and Sam, folks. How about that?
I love iconographic shots where you sit there and a lot of times the audience doesn't even understand it, but older people, somehow it reminds them of their childhood.
When a director says, this is what I want in my film, and when you read the script and start analysing how you do it, is say, okay, what is the best way to do this? Do we use computer graphics, or do we use miniature photography and practical effects, that sort of thing? Even though we're using a practical solution, not computer graphics, it's a very technically complicated thing. We have to build the windmill to collapse, we have to cut it in certain ways, we've got huge chain things to pull it down so it falls in just the right way. We've got flames going all over it, and we have to pipe it for flame so that we can then turn off the flame and reshoot if something goes wrong. So for all those reasons, it's very technically complicated. And then once we pull it down, well, what I want it to do is crash down into the ground and make a very pleasing thing, but it might topple over one way, or it might do something else crazy, or it might be so firm that it just stays up. Now, of course, we also sometimes, and we did in this case, pre-visualize it if we can.
On a shot like this, we usually build at least 2 complete models, but we also include in that some pretty elaborate testing.
The planning took some number of weeks, from building the platform, to figuring out how to shoot this against the night sky, which we did, the time of the day, to no moon, to no jets going through in the background, to the lights being in the right place, and all 3 cameras being in the right place.
Snow coverage. It's snowing out here. Baking soda.
Everyone has to stay behind the yellow line from this point.
Maddie, go ahead and light the sails, please.
Go cameras, start the sail! Action!
Planet! Planet, stop!
I wanted the windmill to be completely, well, basically just a little bit at the bottom here left, and most of the structure inside, because we come back to this location later on for a scene where it's just wreckage. So during the collapse, a couple of the, we make little false weak knees and that sort of thing so that the support structure splinters, and that didn't completely happen during the collapse, unfortunately. Something got jammed into something else. So as a result, we didn't get quite the complete level of destruction that I wanted.
Anytime you do this, you have to expect variables. And you never get 100%, so you plan and you plan. And we got 90%. We're going to try to finesse another 10% and make some great-looking next 5 shots at it for the sequence.
We'd shot a foreground to this scene on location when we were filming the live-action principal photography of Van Helsing. And so now what we've done is matched up to that photography, and we're going to create the burning windmill to put in behind the scene with Dracula and the brides.
It's not only matching the look of it standing, but we have to try and get it to collapse the way they dress the debris pile.
Here's a composite. This is a blue screen Dracula and his three brides to about here, shot in LA on a stage. Our miniature is from here up. So we had our match move department match the move that was done in LA a few months ago, plugged it into our Cooper system motion control system. We shoot this at high speed, around 60 frames a second, and that's what we'll end up with. And that's our work tonight.
So hopefully what we'll end up with is, something that tells the same story, but it breaks it a little differently into the sequence of shots. And if that doesn't seem to be working, we have take two, where we build a second windmill, bring it up here, try it again, and better work that time.
Give me life!
That's right, we're standing in Dracula's foyer. The entrance hall to his castle, which is obviously an integral part of the movie. He's built several interiors of his castle. We've got the antidote room, we've got Dracula's coffin room, we've got Dracula's laboratory, we've got one of the rooftops where some of the action takes place. So all in all, we've got 8 or 9 parts of Dracula's castle. And this is the biggest one, which is why we're outside, because it wouldn't fit on any of the stages.
Here's Castle Dracula. At the end of the third act, our heroes, I don't know if you can see the little teeny guys right down there. This is how big this is.
With Stephen Sommers' movies, sound stages are way too small to hold his ideas, so we call it summer-sizing. It's great.
Even though the set is gigantic, it's not even close to being able to accommodate the size that the fortress actually is in the movie. So because of that, we're constantly shooting off this gigantic set onto a blue screen.
And we see this and we think, oh my God, this is the biggest castle we've ever seen, and it should be. And then, of course, we start tilting up and find out that no, this is just the entrance to the castle, that it actually goes up and up and up and up and up and up.
The shipping crates are just to hold up the blue screen, which you see folded up on the ground there. And rather than build the whole set, we can then repeat elements of the set on the blue screen and actually make the castle look many times bigger than the set that you see behind me.
We built big sets, and so even though Steve is often shooting off the set, onto a blue screen, we're just extending a big set that we already have.
What you see here, when you go back to the art department, you see sketches of the whole of what the foyer would look like. So the columns you see behind me are 60 foot high, but in the movie they're 150 foot high. So obviously we've worked out perspectives, and using perspectives and models what the overall look should be as a guide for ILM and the matte artists. We had 60 men working for 16 weeks. That's almost from when the art department gave them the drawings. Then we obviously had a lot of sculptors sculpting the torches and the sculptures that you see behind me and the various elements on the door. This is one of Dracula's torches. We want to be pretty dramatic. When it's lit up, it looks really good, I think. But instead of frozen corpses of his victims, we've sort of made a tale that he actually turns them into volcanic basalt material. So it relates to the rest of the castle, really.
Castle Dracula.
We'll get a two-dimensional drawing or painting, an artwork, and from that we'll build this, which is a maquette. And this will give us the rough dimensions, so that way we're not building the actual model and then run into problems later. This way, quickly we can see what the model's going to look like, and then we scale this up for the actual model.
Put an actual physical model or a miniature will give you that maybe CG won't, is that you just get that real effect of light hitting a surface.
coming up with the design for this castle, we tried to stay as close to the artwork as possible. There were certain areas that are called hero areas where the camera is going to be closer to the model.
We've got our lab tower over here. Lots of story happens inside that guy. There's a big battle between Van Helsing Wolf and the Hell Beast, and it's where we have all of our lightning strikes going and zapping all of our pygmies into life.
Right here, what we've done is added those tiny grain of wheat lamps. They're to represent torches, which are about the size of a person's head, a 6-foot tall person's head. And from camera, this is fairly deep in the back corner of the model, but if you have that little point of light, it kind of helps you establish, oh, there's something back there, but it's really far away. What we can see from camera is the nice light that's cast on the back column and the area surrounding it. And throughout the model, we try and throw these little pools of light in to help you say, oh, there's some activity going on in that room. There's a fireplace in there, or the pygmy guys are roasting something to eat.
The materials we used on this castle, the base is polyurethane foam. It's almost like surfboard foam. It's rigid. It's easily sculpted, and we start off with that as the base. Sculpt into that a bunch of the cubby holes and the little windows and stuff.
So this tower here is our antidote tower. The whole idea is that this tower is kind of the oldest of the bunch. Down here on the bottom, you get the sense that it's been carved right out of the rock, kind of a Cappadocia quality. And as they got higher, they had to build some, but you really get the idea that it's the most weathered, and it's even kind of a different architectural style than the rest of our towers, kind of rounded and a little more weathered. In the back here is our big castle tower. It's basically just our big tower. We don't have much in a way of a story to go there. It's just a nice backdrop for a lot of the shots that take place on the bridge in front of it. The bridge that connects these two towers, our antidote tower and lab tower, was designed from blueprints from a full-size set that they used in LA.
This is actually the bridge, part of the bridge that links the two towers. So behind me is one tower, and then in front of me will be another tower in the movie. It doesn't exist in reality. I imagine it was a suspension bridge, about 600 feet long. So we've created about a third of it. Well, we're 16 feet off the ground here. The background is 60-odd feet high, and we have various cutaway bits of sets, so the bridge looks much taller from the ground when you see it. In reality, when you see the movie, it's supposed to be 500-600 feet up off the mountainside.
It's the most gigantic set I've ever seen in my life.
The model makers have such an easy time with throwing in details, and it just really feels like you're making a big movie when you make one too. It's just fun.
This is my 4th or 5th movie with Alan Cameron, and he's always just keeps topping himself. Not only every movie, but every set. Like on this one, it's just unbelievable.
T-Mark. Picture up. Ready and action.
Oh my God. The Frankenstein monster.
Come and get it, Frank.
Then we can get more pictures up here. Oh, you son of a...
Sorry, man.
Don't mess up the makeup now.
What are you looking at?
Together.
You, wimp. You don't want this.
All right. Sorry. Oh, flies. There's flies.
I give you Van Halen.
May have this.
He is passionate in the hunting of you.
Broke. It's a low budget movie. I'm sorry.
Beat me.
Action! Where are we going? Through that window!
Oh, you win. Very good.
Now!
Jeez, you front hell out of me. I wasn't ready for that.
Any part of me like to catch fire just at this point, including coattails or hair? No, good.
It won't happen again.
Well, why did they attack in daylight?
Clearly they wanted to catch me. It won't happen again. Oh,
Friggin' line. Right. What's the line?
I'm a cold, heartless bitch.
Can somebody give me a script? Because I'm sure those aren't the lines.
Hey, Daddy, I'm home.
I know what lurks in your luster heart.
Your father didn't have this or that.
You got another one of these? He didn't have this cheap souvenir. Is that your sword or mine, darling? Oh, sorry.
See, look at.
Oh, are you in trouble?
Someday when I do a big budget movie, we won't have problems like this.
My life, my job, is to vanquish evil. I can sense evil. This.
What?
It's just get out of there. The look, but even the more pain just goes. Oh, see that? That was acting. It was me acting. That's why I stay back here.
It's flesh wound. Flesh wound.
Hey, I know you.
And neither you nor I will be able to stop my phone.
Okay, I'll be in here. I've got cable.
Not a cigarette.
We're rolling.
There are those who go through the front door. There are those who speak their lines a little bit better than us.
Don't trip.
Yeah, I would never trip. Oh.
I'm okay. I'm all right. Here she comes.
Let's go. You gotta be kidding me.
We're out of film, so I think we should probably cut. Hey, you guys can't leave me here. Hey, where are you going? Come down there.